So I'm here with Zach, my son, here at our grain setup, talking about biologicals today with Mosaic. We are on a farm here that is actually has very high biological activity. And this is the actual farm where we did our trial with BioPath last year and saw some very extreme results. We saw up to 20 bushels in segments of this farm out here. And I was told to put the trial where I thought it might not work. And lo and behold, it did work. So now I have to do this video series. But hey, it's all fun. We're enjoying doing it. We're loving it. And we love to tell our story. And we love to share our farm with you. At age 52, I was discovered to have a very weak heart. So I went through some really, really dark times. I felt alone, I felt scared. I was actually told I had 3 months to live. That was 15 years ago. It's real easy to want to become dependent on everyone else doing your work and your things. You still need to remain productive, and that's a struggle. But I do believe there's a lot of healing in finding a purpose in life. And at this time of my life, my purpose may be to reach out to other growers and just people in general. Now, I'm not afraid to share my story. I've opened up, I'm an open book. And so I didn't change my beliefs, didn't change my priorities. My family was always my priority. Biologicals have to stay warm. So once they're in storage here, they will be brought into this building because it's heated. This is one of our planter tractors. We have 2 planter units that are set up identical. These are old Kinsey 2006 vintage planters that we have rebuilt dozens of times. Part of our soil health deal here is to avoid compaction and to keep the planters as light as possible. And these planters are fitted completely with precision planting equipment, electric meters. We decided to get into the drone deal for areas that we want to spray in season where the corn might be too tall or the field might be too wet. We use 2 high clearance sprayers in our operation, but this is going to be mostly for spot spraying and for test plot work. So if we want to do a strip of something, this is easier to do than to call the airplane because they want to put 150 acres in a load. And here we can do a smaller amount, smaller area.
We've been pondering the idea around for a couple years, so finally decided to jump into it. I've got a lot of educating to do on it. I'll be the one flying it, so yeah. Wish me luck. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we don't want to wreck it. But we do have insurance. And just walking over here to my truck. Got to go see what other kind of trouble we can stir up today. Zach, let's run down to the grain setup real quick. You want to do that?
Yep.
I know it's a mess. We didn't get it all cleaned up. The weather kind of got us. The harvest went kind of late this year and started out with really nice weather for harvest, and all of a sudden things kind of took a crap on us. And we started getting rain every day, not massive amounts of water, but just enough to aggravate us and hold us up. And then, I know, we pushed right down to the end. We did get our crops all harvested before that one major snowstorm right there, right before Thanksgiving. We're heading to what was my original grain setup when I started back up farming in the late 90s. I bought it because it's on a state highway. It's US 6. And it has 3-phase power and natural gas, all things that a grain farmer would want to keep your drying costs and storage costs in check. And so it was my reason for picking that farm. Then we expanded that system numerous times. We have about 650 to 700,000 bushels of storage here. In a normal year, these 3 dryers would pretty much keep up with our X9 combine. Field 23 is right here. That's this farm. It's 165 acres tillable here, and we are in the BioPath field. I mean, the field is right behind me. That hill that you see to our left is actually a low organic, probably 1 to 2% organic matter. The BioPath went through that, and in between those 2 sand knobs is some really heavy black dirt, and that's a higher organic matter soil. Then to the right of us is very high organic, a peat moss type soil. This farm is well drained. We pump the water off of it. The reason we picked this for the BioPath was for the soil variation. And obviously with the data that we collect, we can look at each one of those soil grids and overlay the yield map And with a calibrated yield monitor, we can see the differences. Geological history would tell you that this was all Lake Michigan at one time. Definitely was underwater at one time. There's places out here, if you would go and dig real deep, you would probably find trees that have never decayed.
Kind of the thought process behind that was, let's see how it does in really rich live soil versus more dead soil.
The high production black soil here has extremely high carbon burst numbers, which is generally conducive to having high biology numbers. And I was actually told by the trial administrator to try and find a place where it might not work. And surprising to all of us, it worked in an area that we just didn't think needed any biological help. The BioPath has filled a slot that's missing in the biology of this high production soil. It was surprising to us that the spot that we thought it wouldn't perform was the best performance it had on our farm.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. He already took his coat off, so I guess he's ready to do some office work. I still have mine on, so I need to get back out there. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yes, we will.